Yo, what up? I am creating a newsletter business and I'm going to give you weekly updates, even if it shits the bed. We are on week, I think, 11, week 12. I never freaking know what week. I think it's week 12. Anyways, let's get cracking. All right, so this is your first time watching. I have a newsletter it's a recipe newsletter, but really it's an entertainment newsletter and it targets an older demographic. My whole goal here is to monetize it through sponsorships or subscriptions or whatever it may be as time goes on. But we are relatively early. We're only like 3 months in at this point, or almost 3 months in. So anyways, let's go over it. Last week, I wrote about this cat. My avatar is an older guy. He's kind of curmudgeon-y, grumpy. And it was a weird story about how instead of cutting pizza normally, he goes around the pepperoni so that everybody has a full pepperoni slice or full pepperoni slices on their pizza. But as a result, you get these weird looking slices. And that's what I talked about. Again, I'm trying to entertain, right? So I just kind of gave you a very dull version of it, but as you read it, the story is a little more engaging than that. And you see how the pizza's all cut weird and stuff like that. And then I always have these 3 interesting articles. I put these articles in here because it gives me an idea of what other content my demographic is interested in, so I can give them more of that. And I want them to engage and click here, because they engage and click here, that increases my opportunities to get sponsorships to this thing. Let's see how the performance looked. The open rate was around the normal, or we're usually hovering in the 60s, low 60s or mid 60s, and so it was about normal. Click-through rate is about normal. We were doing about 6 or almost 7%. About a month ago. It's down a little bit here, but that is what it is. Unsubscribe stuff is within an acceptable range. Now, let's go to my favorite part, the click map. The click map lets us know where they're clicking. So we had about 4 people who want to read it online. I don't know why. We had 2 people who, I guess, loved it. You go down here. By the way, you won't see the data here, but this email got a lot of response. Like, people just had something to say about this. And it wasn't like just one thing talking about they weren't just talking about the pizza slices. Some people were talking about the articles. So let's take a look at the articles. Now, this right here is probably the most engagement we've ever received from our articles. So I'm going to make note about this. These things so they care about things that they care about the age, obviously. This worst music video ever. So they care about watching other people fail, and then the losing weight. So this is interesting. What I'm processing out here as you watch me. What I'm noticing right here is, hey, things about skin dermatology, things about people failing, and then weight loss. So I am going to make note of that for future articles. Good, but this is the most we've ever seen, and this is important because let's say that this gives me an idea of if I had a sponsorship ad in here, how many people may click. And I would say from what I see here, I would say at least 7 to 10 people would probably click on the sponsorship, which would be hard for me, or hard, that'd be kind of high. And that's like $7 to $10 or whatever. And that's not world changing money. It's not life changing money, but you got to start somewhere. And you start here, and ideally it snowballs until that $7 to $10 becomes $700 to $1,000, and then from $700 to $1,000, $700 to $1,000. Then from $700 to $1,000, I'm looking at $7K to $10K. So you got to start somewhere, though, right? So, anyways, that was good. Very interesting. People clicked on the image, and as always, a lot of people click on the recipe. We had some people click on the referral link. I put a referral link in here because I'm just trying to get people to refer this newsletter to their friends. And then we had a fair amount of people unsubscribe here. That's cool. This next week, this is the week 12 one. We're going to talk. It's a funny story. When this comes out, it'll be, I believe, like Mother's Day when this one drops. It's an interesting story about a vagina beard. It's an interesting story. It's about how this guy tells a story about how his wife took his daughter to the rec center, and his daughter at the time is 3 years old. She gets very interested in her mother's adult body, and then she's like, well, when do I get a vagina beard like you? And then long story short, the daughter throws a fit because she doesn't think that she's gonna be able to get a vagina beard like her mom, and it's a big embarrassing story. I write it a lot better than what I just told you. But we will see how this story goes, because you could laugh, or I might get a bunch of unsubscribes. But I think I don't. At this point, I'm gonna go on a quick tangent, but I don't care. Like, if I'm talking about something like this, and as I'm telling you it, I didn't even tell you the full story, but I'm kind of laughing. My avatar, my guy, has this type of personality, and so if you're not down with this type of personality, then you're probably not down for this newsletter, and that works. This thing, what I'm doing is I'm self-filtering, and I'm not trying to intentionally offend anybody, but this is what you get when you come here. This is what you get, and if you don't like it, peace. If you do like it, stay. And I like that, because if they do like it, I'm just gonna keep doing more of it, and I'm kind of just being like what I'm being what I want this avatar to be. And if you're down with it, cool. If you're not, peace. So it's gonna be self-filtering. I am rambling. I appreciate you watching. We'll see how this goes next week, and I think I'm gonna start after this week. I think I'm gonna start monetizing this bad boy. Let's throw in some monetization links and see what happens, and you can watch me get rich. When I say get rich, I mean get like $5. Peace.